Okay. Hi, Akhil. Welcome to this webinar.
Thank you so much.
Miss Palak, I think you're left.
No, I'm here. I'm listening to everyone's introduction. Hello, everyone. So I'm Palak, and I'm actually an engineering student, but more of like I'm interested in, exploring more and learning from the community. So that's why I'm here today. And yeah, welcome. I would like to welcome you all to Next Wave Hive, actually. And thanks for being a part of this session on Sunday morning, actually, and giving your time to us on the weekend. We'll make sure that it is fruitful.
Meanwhile, I'm requesting to all the audience, please, do you have any queries and something like that? And do you have something new things? Please feel free to share with us. And in the chat box, please write your name, your location, and your LinkedIn account if you are comfortable to share with us. It's just for the networking. कि लोग आपसे connect करें या आप लोगों से connect करें for the your requirements like professionally for learning and all.
Hi, Rishabh. Hello.
Someone is speaking, right?
Yeah, am I audible?
Your voice is slightly low.
Okay, now am I audible?
Yeah, perfectly.
Yeah, thanks. I'm Raj Kumar. I did my graduation in MBA, and I did some product management internship program. As its communication is very important for me in management role, so I just participated in this webinar.
That's nice.
Happy to have you here, Rajkumar. And
Yeah, thanks.
looking forward to talking a lot about the communication, speaking, especially for tech managers, tech people. Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
So anyone like to share their experience with us? Piyush?
Yeah, I am on. Yeah. So I can start. I'm having around 14 years of work as a project manager, and I'm volunteer Next Wave Hive. So I'm part of Next Wave Hive as a volunteer. We are building this community. That's all from my side. Anyone else want to? I'll share my LinkedIn ID and details on chat.
Oh, Rajkumar is joining us from Trichy. My God, beautiful temple town. That is what I remember, right?
Yeah, Rishabh. There are a lot of temples.
Yeah, I've been to Trichy. Yes, temple tourism.
So what's
Sorry.
So
I'm sorry.
you here in Trichy? So what's your
I've
favorite
been to-
temple here?
I don't remember that because I was 7 years old, but I remember Trichy because my family had gone for some pilgrimage. So we had covered Rameshwaram, we had covered Trichy, and we all I remember is Guruvayur in Kerala. That I remember.
Kerala.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I know I've crossed Trichy when I was like 6 or 7. So, and I know it's a temple town. Yeah. Sorry about the name of the temple. I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Fine.
I think the entire Tamil Nadu is a temple town.
Yeah.
I guess we can wait for around like 5 more minutes and then we can start so that, other audience who all are joining us, we can wait for them. And we are live on YouTube also. So let's wait, I guess, for 4 to 5 minutes, and I guess then we can start. Until then, I would like to say that whoever has joined now, please you can go on and share your LinkedIn profiles. You can use the chat section of the meeting on Teams here, that to share your LinkedIn profile so that we can connect and share with each other and learn together. That's what I can say. And also throughout this session, if you have got like any question, or if you want to add up on during the presentation anywhere, anytime, you can use the chat section and just put your whatever your question is or your answer is. So we'll have a look on it, and we will actually have those questions or something at the end of the session, as we also have like a question and answer round. So you can do that also throughout the session. And I would not just as the host, but as well as on behalf of speaker also, I would like to say that it's always good if we have the session interactive. So I would like everyone that let's be interactive, so that it doesn't feel like it's one-way communication. So we also get more enthusiasm and interest that we want to share more. Because the audience is also interested, and that would then become a better experience for all of us. So
Meanwhile, if you have anything during this session, so you can raise your hand.
You can as well as raise your hand. You can do that too. Should we start with the presentation? Should I start with introducing our community first now, or should we wait for 2 more minutes, Piyush and Racha?
We can wait 2-4 minutes because people are joining us.
It's
Sunday.
Sure.
It's Sunday, and we are disturbing the sleep of everyone. I think सबके साथ हुआ होगा, नींद खराब हो गई.
No,
it's Sunday.
I'm a morning person. Sunday also I was up by 5:30. I love the morning time I have. So, wow. But yes, that's what I was thinking. That for others it's a Sunday, so they take it easy. Yep. So let's read.
So for me as well, actually, I'm a bit morning person, and I went for a cycle ride on every Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
So
healthy Sunday, good start. For the next week,
So and more actually, I want to share my view on this topic. The topic, say it or slay it. As a UX designer, actually, I need it badly to tell story for everyone while sharing my experience or my design screens or complete project views. So I need it. So this is my second session I am attending at Next Wave 5, and it's directly related to me. That's why I'm joining. Most of the time, actually, there is development related topics. So I couldn't attend that. So that's why I'm joining. Happy learning means I will. Let's see what will happen.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for it.
Thanks.
We actually have both technical as well as non-technical sessions. So it's good that we understand few of the audiences towards the technical and few of the audiences towards the non-technical. But we try to actually bring on some common topics also, so that all of us can be on the same page and we can have it. So one such topic is this one. Irrespective of your technical or non-technical, I feel communication is actually very important key to provide in a way slate anywhere. that would be the right word, I would say. So anyone else would like to share their experience or anything related to this topic, or how communication has made them stand out? So you can go ahead.
So I have perspective about this, right? When I joined, my background, basically we are from the technical side, most of us, right? So what happens? We are technically proficient, or we have the domain knowledge. Now the only thing which where we most of us lack is, the way to communicate it beautifully. I'm not saying way to communicate it directly, right? I mean, we are good in the communication, but how we can, get the attention of the other person and getting into it and getting the buying basically, right, on the things which we want to do. And that's where we lack. And that's the only purpose why I actually joined this, to understand, the art of storytelling. Because irrespective of 2 decades of experience personally, I feel that, somewhere around I miss that, to join the dots where, storytelling is the key. Yeah. Thank
Lovely,
you.
lovely. Good to hear that. And I think what you're saying is you want to be effective communicator. You're already a good communicator, but how to cut through the noise so that people start to listen to you. People remember what you said, right? Is that what your takeaway is?
Absolutely. See, storytelling is a key, right? I mean, because you tell that, we can do this, we can do that, and then you can tell the way how we will do it. But people will not, pay an attention or buy it unless you have told them a beautiful story around it, right? So
Yes.
to remember, right?
Today morning also we posted a video in which I've said the same thing, that people buy from emotions, because of emotions, and rationalize it with logic later. So people don't buy products, they buy stories and solutions for their problems. And everything is possible when you touch upon with a story. So we'll delve more in this, right?
Thanks for sharing your experience, actually.
Palak, I think we need to
Yeah.
start.
Yeah, I guess now we can start with it. So before starting with the presentation, I would like to take just a few minutes of yours to explain you what Next Wave Hive is all about. So we to explain about this community and all of it in just few minutes. Yeah. So first of all, I'll welcome you all again because many attendees have joined us later. So welcome you all again to our community. So if I had to say, just give what Next Wave Hive in a line is, I would just say that, it's a space where curious minds, bold ideas, and collaborative energy comes together. And as our vision says, innovate together, transform forever. And we would like to mean and, get every word of it on the table. Yeah. So what what this hive actually offers. So as you can see, we are into now having mentoring, collaborative work, and we have networking events like one of this is the one which we are having today. And other than that, for anyone who has the passion to grow, whether it's professionally, that can be like technical, or it can be non-technical as well. Hive is your go-to partner. You get access to our mentors who guide you, incubation support if you're working on any startup or any ideas, or if you have, anything to share. So you can use us as your go-to platform. So, and if you enjoy meeting like-minded people, so the networking event and the weekly session, like the one which we are hosting today, would be the best choice for you. So Hive is actually like an open platform for all. So we usually see communities, but many times we see that, sometimes the community only has students or only has professionals, but there is still a gap. So that's why that was one of the reasons why we had started with Next Wave Hive, that, it's like an open platform and it is inclusive of all. So it's not that only people with lots of years of experience or professionals can be a part of it, but it's instead everyone, like irrespective if you're a student, fresher, professional, or just exploring around. So yeah, you can just be a part of the community. And if you have got any new thing out there, and you can just be a part of which celebrates you for who you are and what you bring. The future vision of us is like, looking ahead, our goal is to expand across industries and globally. We are planning to introduce new tools, new learning opportunities, support systems end to end to build, and provide you end to end help for anyone who wants to turn an idea into impact. And Hive is not just a place for me personally, it is like a growing movement of creators, leaders, and dreamers like each one of you. We even have got volunteer opportunities, and if you are someone who likes to join our mission or truly understands us, and you can add up to the community if you feel in any way. So we'll be sharing the Google form, which will hardly take 1 to 3 minutes of your, where you can choose your role according to your skill set, or if you want to explore some new side, or a new, like a domain or a new type of role, you can give that a try too. And you can share your skills, help us with the events, lead initiatives. So it's in a way we are trying to give a chance to build your confidence, gain experience, and meet of meaningful experiences. So every small contribution of yours will help us to build the Hive bigger, greater, and strong, definitely stronger. So how can how can you join the Hive? Just a minute. Yeah. So how can you join? Well, then this can sound you like great, but yeah. So it, as I mentioned, it is open to all. We have got easy registration process through our NextWave Hive website. You can just check out www.nextwavehive.com on Chrome or any browser, and you can just register yourself there. And we have got even a WhatsApp community. You can LinkedIn, Instagram. We are present across social media platforms also, and YouTube too. So you can join us there. So you are updated with anything that happens new. And the links will also be shared in the chat about our WhatsApp communities and other social media platforms. So you can stay updated and just be a part of anything that happens. And here are few of our past events. So we have had events on different topics and different domains. So the first one that we had was regarding that tough talk, smart moves, influence when it comes. That was in a way similar and related to the topic of communication itself. So we had got Emma Simon with us for it. Followed by that, we had a technical session actually that was related to Microsoft Azure Computer Vision by Vipul Malhotra, and we could see the new technology and how, the computer vision and everything is now again standing out, and what's the time ahead in the generation of AI. Then followed by that we had Salesforce, the session, and then career in embedded systems. That was actually a topic looking ahead. We, as we all can see now, that the semiconductor industry and all of it is booming along the side, so embedded system also plays a very important part, and many of the big companies have now come up in this arena to play along the FANG companies which we usually just think of. So this was one of the other event that we had. So just to get in touch with us, this is the QR code, but anyways, you will have the links. And now comes to our today's session. So I'm very excited to introduce you to our speaker today, which is Richa Wahi. She's business storyteller as well as founder of Tales That Spin. She has got over 20 years of experience in leadership communication, and she'll actually this session will help us, transform from just being a communicator or a normal speaker to being an effective and impact creating storytellers for all of us. And she's also a neuro-linguistic practitioner, and she has been she has got her Art of Business Storytelling issued by Storywalas in 2021, followed by postgraduate in Human Resource Management and Masters in Botany. So she has transitioned from being into a subject matter expert to now being a leadership and communication expert. So good to have you here, Richa, and now over to you. And I would also request all of the attendees today that thanks for joining once again. Hopefully, and we are too confident that the 2 hours that you are giving us today will definitely try to gift you back a Sunday and a weekend gift for all of you. Over to you, Richa, now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Palak. Thanks for the introduction. I'm happy to be here on a Sunday, and I hope everybody is as excited as I am. So yes, before I start with storytelling, a little bit about my story. Though I started as a subject matter expert. I've taught in schools, I've taught in a college as well. But then I switched to corporate, started my corporate journey with an executive search firm, have worked for a university in Singapore as their head of BD. Before finding my calling into writing and storytelling, this happened around COVID. So COVID was a time when everything was shut, and that was the time when I was introspecting and seeing that what is it I actually want to do. And I had a chance meeting with somebody who was talking about storytelling. So my journey started in 2020, and in 2021, Tales That Spin was born. This title also has a story because I feel the stories that we tell ourselves have the ability to spin our reality, So I always say that if you want the world to change their opinion about you, change the story that you're telling the world. Okay, and because once you change that story, the opinion about you will also change. So that's about it. Storytelling, it's a boutique storytelling consultancy firm. And I also am an NLP certified practitioner. I'm also a leadership communication coach. And I also coach people on their executive presence. Apart from communication, speaking, public speaking, I'm part of PSAI, which is the Professional Speakers Association India. And I hope that after this session, your idea about stories and your idea about how to include them changes a lot. So happy to be here. If you have any questions, you can post in the chat. I think, Palak, you can take a note of all the questions, which we can have it at the end.
Yeah, surely.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So that's it. And let's begin. So I hope you can see my presentation, all of you. Can you see?
Yeah.
Now, storytelling in business. There are 3 words that I've written here. One is the art, second is the science, And third is the magic of storytelling. So generally when you see storytelling, people say, oh, it's an art, it's a science. I always say there's a lot of magic involved with it, because the way it can change your communication is nothing so short of a magic thing. Okay. Now, when we talk of storytelling, I have a question to all of you. You're all very technical people. I'm totally non-technical, so I'm sure you would all be able to answer this. Please give me a proper definition of a Pythagoras theorem. What is Pythagoras theorem? Can you define it for me? Anyone?
You can
You're all-
even use the, you can unmute yourself and even answer this. I would
this
say,
is something I want to answer. So you have to unmute and answer.
yeah,
Can you
yeah.
give me the
Anyone in the audience can please volunteer.
Yes.
Please, attendees, you can
Yeah.
just unmute and go ahead. It's
What
there's no thing that you have to be perfect. I would say just give a try. We are not here to scold you or judge you for anything. Just give
Yeah.
a try.
Yeah.
Calculation of right angle.
Sorry.
It states that calculation of right angle, actually square of both the sides, two sides.
Okay, but is it the exact definition? Probably not. Okay.
No,
Okay.
not exact.
Next question. Next question. What is Archimedes' principle? Anyone? Anything?
Richa, someone is raising the hand. That's a P. May I know who's the P? The person who is raising the hand, P.
You just have to unmute.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself and answer actually.
So that is for the Pythagoras theorem. So like it's been a very long time, but like I understand Pythagoras theorem is something like when we want to find the in a right angle triangle, when we want to find the other side of the angle, then
Okay.
we use Pythagoras
Okay,
theorem.
okay. I like the word that she used, long time. Yes, it's been long time that you read it. So obviously it is difficult, right? It's difficult to remember. Now my third question. When the tortoise and the hare ran in a race, who won the race? This I think everybody can answer. Who won the race? Tortoise.
Yeah, I guess anybody
Tortoise.
can. Yeah,
Everybody
it's
knows.
tortoise.
Everybody knows. Do you know how old were you when you first heard this story? Probably you were a kindergartner, right? You were in a kindergarten when you first heard this story of tortoise and rabbit, and how rabbit was so overconfident, but he slept, and tortoise, because he was slow and steady, he went on and he went, won the race, right? So you were very, very young when you first heard this story. But do you know how quickly you could answer this? And how difficult it was to remember Pythagoras theorem, Archimedes principle, Newton's 3 laws of motion? You may remember some bit of it, you may not remember, right? Do you know why? Because our brain is hardwired to remember stories. Stories make the data memorable. If I ask you, what is the formula for gravity? You may not remember, but you would all remember the story of how apple fell on the head of Newton and how he went on to discover gravity, right? Am I right? So stories are there in our DNA. We are hardwired to remember. What you see on your screen is the earliest cave painting which was drawn by the early man. Even before he discovered speaking, he had started drawing. Now, these drawings are actually stories. Through these drawings, he's telling his other fellow humans that these are the animals you may encounter outside and there is danger. So, storytelling has been around as long as human beings have been able to communicate, since the time the civilization began. And agar storytelling nahi hota, if storytelling was not there, if we were not sharing stories, probably you and me were not sitting here across the screen. We would have been perished. So storytelling is adaptive. It is what is the reason why we are living even today. There's a very powerful quote by Steve Jobs, who by far is one of the best technical guys to be a storyteller, and he says that the storyteller is the most powerful person on the earth, because the story he tells you or the story you tell, it can change your reality. You will start believing it. So that is the power of story. Can you recognize these people? Any one or two of them? Can you recognize who these people are?
Richa, sorry to interrupt. Can you hide that banner is coming Teams live? Stop sharing. Can you hide it, please?
Okay, sure.
Because we are getting from something from you. Thank you.
Sorry.
Please continue.
Okay. Can you recognize any one or two people in this? I'm sure you can. You can see Kapil Sharma. He's a
Ranveer Alabadia.
Ranveer Alabadi as a podcaster. Any more names, please?
There's Prajakta Kohli.
Prajakta Kohli. She's an author. She's an actor. Then
Yes.
you have the famous Iron Man here. Then you have
Yes.
all these actors here. You have a director. You have Eminem, who's a rapper. Why I'm calling them modern day storytellers is because in today's time, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a movie, whether it's a song, whether it's a book, all are these nothing but stories coming your way in different formats. So we are very lucky that in today's time we have many different formats of storytelling. Why podcasting is suddenly so popular? Because you must have seen the guests who come on podcasts. What are they doing? They're sharing their story. They're talking about their struggles, how their life is, how they started something, how they're doing. So podcasting has become so popular because we are getting to know their stories, which till now we were not aware of. So these are all your modern day storytellers. Okay, how many of you have used Instagram today morning? When you woke up, you've opened your phone. Have you used Instagram? How many of you have used?
Yes.
All of you, some of you,
Yeah.
you've used Facebook. You've gone
All
on
of you can
YouTube.
raise your hands. I guess everyone would have used.
Yes. So what is the last? Sorry. Okay. What is the last piece of content that you saw on Instagram? Instagram tells you that if you like your picture, add to your story. You've seen that Insta story. You've seen Insta stories. In fact, I posted my video also on Insta story. So what is Insta story? It is your story. What's happening in your life? That's your story. So anywhere on social media, on OTT, what we are doing is we are sharing stories about ourselves, about others, about what's happening in our lives. So a question arises, why do we share stories? Before we come to how can we use stories, the question is, why do we share stories? See, because this is in our human DNA. We listen, we remember, we repeat, and this repetition can be a funny incident, a sad incident, something very horrible happened with you, a lot of struggle is happening in your life. All that we share amongst our people. So it can be your peers, your co-workers, your team in the office, maybe your boss, people at home, your friends, your colleagues, anybody. Even online. So we say the world has become online. What are we doing? We're just sharing stories. Okay, I was here at this restaurant last night having a meal and I was enjoying. What is that? You're sharing your story. That what happened with you last night. If you've written something, say you've written an article, what do? You post it on LinkedIn. So you're sharing your part of what you're doing on LinkedIn as a story. So human beings, again, are wired to remember stories, to share stories, whether orally or writing, and we listen to stories all the time. So when you talk to your friends, when you ask for relief from your boss, when you're talking to your maybe girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, husband, what are you doing? You're sharing your stories. This happened, that happened. When you're telling your boss that I need a leave, you share a story. Okay, I have to travel to this place, because this is happening in my life. My mother is unwell, so I need to go back to my hometown. So whatever communication you do is only through stories. And that is why I say human beings are informivores. What are informivores? We are organisms. We consume knowledge for our survival, for our reproduction, everywhere. So in our DNA, all these 6 things are happening. We learn, we share, we copy, we imitate, we improve, we adapt. This is all is happening all the time. In fact, today morning, when you decided to come into this session, you had a story in your mind. The last person I spoke to here, he said that I'm a communicator, but I want to be an effective communicator. What is that? That is a story. Your brain is telling you, if you want to improve your communication, this webinar might be able to help. So why don't you log in? Otherwise, it is a Sunday, you might be watching Netflix, you might be just hanging out with your friends. So the story that played in your mind was that, no, I think I need to improve my communication. This can be a good way. So let me log on to this webinar. So this is all nothing but stories that you keep telling yourself. Now, what can you see on your screen is the portion of the brain, right? I hope you can see this very clearly. Can you? Can you see the? Okay. Now, every time you listen to a story, these areas of the brain, they light up. There are portions in the brain which light up, which are much more than when you hear data. I'm sure you all would have been through very boring presentations in your office, which you don't even remember. The data you don't even remember, but you have to sit there because your boss is saying something. When you're listening to data, probably 30% of your brain is involved. There's very little neural activity happening in your brain. But when you listen to a story, 70 to 80% of your brain gets engaged. Stories engage many parts of your brain, and that is why the messages stick. Okay, I have a question to all of you. Have you seen this movie 12th Fail? It's a very famous movie. Have you seen this movie 12th Fail? It's a Hindi movie, Bollywood movie. Have you seen this? Have all of you seen this, or should I pick up any other movie reference?
Yeah, I have seen it.
What are the movies you all have seen? Can I have some names? 12th Fail is one. What other movies have you seen? Can you
There's
name
one more movie named Hitchki.
Okay, Hitchki, 12th Fail. What else?
Idiots.
3 Idiots.
Wonderful. What else? What else?
Now there is Tare Zameen Par also. And
Tare
Tare
Zameen
Zameen Par.
Okay, Tare Zameen Par.
Yeah, both of
Okay.
them.
Okay.
Bahubali.
Now-
Okay.
Bahubali. Okay, let's talk about Bahubali only. Let's start from Bahubali and go to others. There is a scene in Bahubali when the mother of the protagonist, she's been dragged, and you know the hero will come and save the mother. Okay, and we all get very involved in this. Or there is a scene in 12th Fail where you feel that the person is living in a very dingy condition and yet he's working hard for IS. Or there are scenes in 3 Idiots, the end scene when they're trying to have the baby and the baby is not responding. Every time you see these kind of scenes in the movies, do you feel engaged? Do you feel कि शायद ये आप ही के साथ हो रहा है? Oh my God! Now you were sitting on the edge and you like पता नहीं क्या होगा, पता नहीं क्या होगा. Or you're watching India-Pakistan cricket match and last ball पे you need a 6 or 4 and you're sitting on the edge with your biting your nails कि oh my God, ये होगा कि नहीं होगा, right? So why does this happen? That when you watch these stories, or let's say, I'll tell you a story that I had gone to Ranthambore very recently, and I was very excited. And subah 6 baje we sat in the gypsy and we were out in the jungle, and it was our lucky day because they said that there's a lot of tiger sighting happening. So I was sitting on the edge of the jeep, and suddenly the jeep, deep in the jungle, there's this eerie silence. You can't hear anything, and you know that the tiger is somewhere close by. I was sitting on the edge and I fell off, and I froze. I mean, instead of quickly getting back into the jeep, I just froze. And the guide, he started shouting on me, and he said, "What are you doing? This is so unsafe. How could you just fall? And why are you not getting up?" But in that moment, I was petrified. I was like, like this. Similarly, if I was to tell you this story that, I was going in the jungle and suddenly I could hear the tiger very close to my ears and, somehow I fell off and I froze and the next thing I know is the tiger is just next to me, chances are that you will actually start feeling that the tiger is getting closer to you, not to me. So there is a science behind it. The science is that we all human beings have what we call the mirror neurons. Now, these mirror neurons are activated by storytelling. So when you hear somebody's story, whether it's a struggle story, whether it's a horror story, whether it's a thriller story, the neural activity of the listener, like me, if I'm listening, mirrors the neural activity of the teller. So whatever the teller is going through now, you also start going through. So I remember there is a movie called Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar, in which in the end there is a race, a bicycle race. I have seen that movie zillion times. I know Amir Khan is going to win the race. But every time I watch the race, I get so involved कि पता नहीं क्या होगा, पता नहीं क्या होगा. Because in that moment, the neural activity of my mind is attached to the neural activity of what is being shown in the story. तो अगर वहाँ पे stress है तो मुझे stress feel होगा. अगर वहाँ पे वो गिर गया और उसको लग रहा है कि वो race पूरी नहीं करेगा तो मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि I'm going to lose. So this happens because of mirror neurons, which are activated by stories. Now, you're all technical people. Imagine you have to give a presentation on a very technical aspect. Try to involve a story in that. Try to use a personal story, or let's say you're talking to your team and your team is very, very demotivated. काम ही नहीं कर रहे हैं, and you want to motivate them. Tell them a story. Tell them your own story. Okay, this happened with me also when I had joined. After 2 years, I also started feeling demotivated. Then this happened, that happened. When you share your personal story, chances are people will connect more. Why? Because of the science behind storytelling, the mirror neurons. Are we on the same page? Am I making sense? Is it something that you knew, or is it something which you're knowing firsthand? Yes, no, maybe. I would like to know the answers.
Yeah, that's good, Richa. My only thought on all these thing is that technical things are pretty much straight, right? When it involves terminologies and all. I always think that how I can beautify in terms of the story, right? Because so that it can create a lasting experience.
We will come to that. We'll come to that.
Right.
How you can use metaphors and analogies. But just to answer your question, I'll tell you a small, I'll just chip in here. So supposing you're a technical manager and you're overseeing a team of both engineers and designers, right? Let's assume that. Now, how you can use simple storytelling trick here. So what you can say is that, we are a team, and let's imagine we are building a bridge together. The engineers are laying the foundation, the designers are shaping the experience, and the product people ensure that we are heading in the right direction. So you have multiple teams. I mean, I'm just taking one example. You have engineers, designers, product specialists, SaaS, this, that. So if one part is missing, the bridge will collapse. So our goal isn't just to build a bridge, but we need to make sure it is strong and leads to somewhere meaningful. Now, this is a very random example of how you are telling them to be together as a team. And what are you using? The metaphor, the analogy of a bridge. You're not building a bridge. You're building something very technical. But what you're trying to tell them is, imagine karo, we are building a bridge. एक ब्रिज को बिल्ड करने में बहुत सारे लोगों का सपोर्ट चाहिए होता है. You have the design team, the engineer team, the product specialist team, and they all have to work together, because if one falters, the bridge will just fall. This is one very simple example of how you can use metaphors to help your team understand that why it is very important to work together, and the differences between these teams can't help you arrive at a good product. Does it make sense? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'll give you more technical examples like these, but this is a very simple example. जैसे हम अपने बच्चों को जब पढ़ा रहे होते हैं, तो we generally give examples like these. कि, supposing if you don't study, then this will happen, then this will happen. So it's not that we are going direct to the point, but we're just giving them a metaphor, a comparison. Just imagine you are doing this, and the same way, whatever team, technical product you're building, you can just give any example, and this is also a use of storytelling, but we'll come to more of it. Right. Now, how can you use storytelling in your communication? Be it a technical person, be it a non-technical person. I'll give you some very simple tips before we come to the actual examples. Always remember, whenever you're telling a story, the ending matters more than the beginning. Okay, so whatever stories that you've seen till now, you would remember, if the ending, the twist was not there in the end, you don't like the story. You say, nahi, isme maza nahi aaya. Because our brain is designed to remember the ending more than the beginning. So we focus more on what happens at the end, the twist at the end. Similarly, the second thing is, you have to remember rule of 3. So every time you are giving an example, you have to give the example in groups of 3, So in your meetings also, we always say 3 examples. Okay, these are the 3 points. These are the 3 things you need to do. So always stick to group of 3, rule of 3. This is what has been designed in storytelling. This has been explained in storytelling, that rule of 3 always helps. The third thing is pop culture references. So just like when I'm talking to you, I'm giving you examples of movies. I will give you examples of books because it helps people understand. So similarly, when you're talking to your team, whatever technical or non-technical thing, try to give these pop culture references while building examples. How you will do that, we'll come to that. How as a technical person you can give these pop culture references, we'll come to that. But just remember, whenever you are telling a story, keep the twist towards the end, because that is what people will remember. अगर ending अच्छी नहीं होगी, लोग वो कहानी भूल जाएंगे. Second, try to build peaks during your narrative. बीच में उनको थोड़े से highs बनाते जाओ. Try to create suspense. Third, rule of 3. Always summarize in 3 points. Because brain के लिए 3 number बहुत important है. 3 से छोटा नंबर उनको याद नहीं रहता, 3 से बड़ा नंबर उनके लिए याद करना मुश्किल होता है. So even if you're giving a database presentation, try to stick it to rule of 3. Last में आपका जो call of action है उसमें 3 points हो. People will remember that. And fourth is pop culture references. Try to give examples from books, from movies, from OTT, whatever you've seen, whatever is happening around you, so that people can understand. If you remember, there was an incident where some masons who were digging a tunnel, they were stuck. 19 of them, they got stuck. It's an old news, and an expert from Australia was called to help them rescue. If you remember that, do you remember this? This had happened some time ago in Uttarakhand. There were some masons who were working in a tunnel and they got stuck. And there was a person who was called from Australia to kind of help them rescue. Do you remember this incident? Do you?
Yes.
Yeah. So if I don't know, but if you ever happen to go back to that news and see the interview of this person who was called from Australia, so he very beautifully said that this mountain is like God, and God is not allowing me to go inside. So I'm going. So he actually used a very particular technique, and he dug the tunnel again slowly and gradually, and then he rescued all 19 of them. So if you listen to his interview, he's comparing this whole exercise as like this mountain is like God, and God is not allowing me to go straight away in. So I'm building step by step by step, and I'm going inside. So the idea is that whatever field of work that you're in, you can always use a metaphor or a simile to explain what you're doing. Now, if he was to tell, okay, I'm digging a tunnel like this, and I'm using this science, nobody will understand. So he changed the whole thing. He said, no, I'm digging a tunnel because this mountain is like God, and God has taken these 19 children inside and he's not letting me go in. So I'm requesting God every day, please let me in, please let me in. And dhire I'm going in, and dhire I'm rescuing all the people. So he beautifully, converted the whole exercise like a very simple story. So if you happen to see that video, please have a look at that. Again, why we use storytelling in business? This is just some examples that it helps you build trust and rapport. It simplifies your complex concepts. It inspires action and influences decision. It shares insights and drives innovation. And it creates an emotional connection with the customers. Just to give you an example, can you recognize this? What is there in my hand?
Amul,
can you see this?
Yeah, I guess it's butter of Amul.
Amul butter. You all use it?
Yeah,
we all use it? Amul butter?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Have you seen Amul ads? Have you seen Amul ads?
Yeah.
They come in the paper every day, every other day.
Yes.
Now, Amul, if I ask you, can you name 5 butter brands that are there in India? Chances are you may not be able to remember anything beyond Amul, maybe Mother Dairy, now. Why is Amul so etched in our memory? Why do we remember Amul so well? If I ask you butter, you say Amul butter. Why? Because we use brilliant storytelling. Now, this is a butter brand. Unko butter banana hai, wo bana rahe hain. But what they do is they use brilliant storytelling. We all remember this girl, right? You remember this girl? You've seen this girl as the doodle?
Yeah.
Right.
Every time something happens, let's say Sachin has hit 6, The next day there will be an advertisement in which they are using that logo and they are using Sachin ka cartoon bana hoga aur niche kuch likha hoga. If when Mangalyaan or Chandrayaan happened, the next day you will have the ad. This lady, and along with that some message written. So what is this? This is brilliant use of storytelling. This is a brand which is selling a product, but they are using storytelling, and through that they are creating an emotional connection with the customers. So much so कि जब आप मार्केट में जाते हो आपको बस यही दिखता है. पता के ब्रांड्स और भी हैं पर दिखता आपको सिर्फ ये है. क्यों? Because they use emotional storytelling. There used to be an advertisement about Amul Doodh Pita Hai India. What is that? They're showing how Amul products are being used by common people. What is that? That's like creating an emotional connection with the customer. So it does not matter what you're selling, whether it's a product or a service. If you use stories to kind of tell the people what you're doing, it will immediately create a rapport. It will immediately create a trust with the people. This emotional connection will happen, and tomorrow when that person goes out in the market, he will choose your product only and nothing else. Such is the brand recall of this product. Same way for Cadbury, same way for Coke, same way for Pepsi, same way for Nike. They use storytelling in the most brilliant way. So these are again some pointers. Let's skip to what's happening ahead. What makes an effective story? So before you craft a story, just remember content has to be linked to the purpose. आप कहानी बता क्यों रहे हो? कई हर जगह पे आपको कहानी बताने की जरूरत नहीं है. If your presentation has to rely on data, let it be. Everywhere you can't have a story. So if you're telling a story, your purpose in mind should be very clear. Why are you telling this story? Is there a need? Yes or no? Only then. Compel the imagination. It should instigate the imagination in the minds of the listener. I'll show you some videos which will give you an idea how. You should be able to connect with others. You're all very technical people. Every time you have to give a presentation, try to simplify it. Think that if you have to give this presentation to maybe a 10-year-old, will he be able to understand? If not, try to simplify the jargon, try to simplify the data, try to make it so simple that even a 10 or an 11-year-old person should be able to understand it. Of course, some technicalities you can't oversee, but try to simplify it as much as possible. Generate a new level of understanding. Why are you using a story? Because when you use a story, the understanding that happens in the mind of the listener is different from when you had just put data on a PowerPoint. So these are the 4 pointers you must remember, but always remember, is the story needed? Is it going to create some new purpose in the minds of the listener? If yes, only then go with it. If no, you can leave the story for the time being. Everywhere a story can't be used. Am I making sense? Are we on the same page? Are we on the same page? Yes. More people, please. More yeses, please. Is there something you want to ask right now?
Comment down, people.
You can ask me directly. We are going to go to how to craft story for technical space. We are coming to that, but till that, is there anything that you would like to kind of interject or butt or say? Are we on the same page?
I guess yes, we have got a few yes in the chat section.
Okay, I can't see the chat, so that's why I'm asking. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got few. I guess anyone has unmuted themselves to speak something, but they are not clearly audible.
Okay. You can ask right now. Not a problem.
That's what. Anuja, I guess, yeah. Or Akhil, who's trying to speak?
No, I am only saying yes to Mrs. Lee.
Yeah, okay, Piyush. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Now, how to tell a story? So, storytelling has 2 parts. Story and telling. Story generate करना आज की डेट में बिल्कुल प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. We are in the AI world. ChatGPT content is available. The real crux lies in telling, where I'm sure a lot of us struggle. A lot of us struggle with our communication. A lot of us struggle with our with the way we tell. So first thing is your body language has to be very, very mature and very, very sharp when you're telling a story. You have to be confident. Your posture and stance has to be just perfect. You should never droop your shoulders. You should never stand like this. You should stand, if you're standing, you should stand with the correct posture. If you're sitting, you should sit with the correct posture. Don't use your hands just like that. I will show you a video of Steve Jobs where we will come back to this point of how to use your hands, how to use your gestures. If your hands are very wonky, you look very funny. Whatever beautiful story you're telling, nobody will listen to it. Your facial expression. So when you're talking to your audience, your team, whether you're talking about data or story, your eye contact has to be very, very sharp and straightforward. You can't be looking here, here, here. What will happen if I'm talking to you and looking here and here? You will feel disinterested. You'll say, Pata nahi, where is she looking? So your facial expressions and your eye contact has to be straight. If you're telling a happy story, have a little smile on your face. If you're talking about something very, very serious, have a serious face, but it should not look rude. So your facial expressions have to match the content. The speech, please do not be very, very fast in speaking. Do not be very, very slow in speaking. Your speech has to be absolutely controlled. Tomorrow, if any one of you goes on stage for a TED talk, you would realize how important speech control is. There are times when you forget things even on stage. There is no problem. You can give a pause. The pause will allow the listeners to understand that yes, this person has said this, let me imbibe. So your speech control is very, very important. Your eye contact is very, very important. Your facial expressions, you know, what you speaking matches. So supposing I'm telling a very happy story and I'm facing like this, you know, absolutely no expression. It will immediately, the listener will feel disinterested and they'll say, oh, I don't know what she does not know what she's speaking. Your movement, your hands have to be absolutely perfect. Your posture and your stance has to be sharp. So even before people listen to you, remember 93% of your communication happens through non-verbal, you know. So when you enter a meeting or you're talking to your team or you're giving a presentation or you're on the stage, even before you open your mouth, people will read you. So if you're walking very underconfidently, very sloppy, people will say, "Arey, isko kuch nahi aata hai, hame sunna hi nahi hai," and after 2 minutes, they will just start looking at their phone or they'll leave. So the impact you can make even before you open your mouth will make or break your presentation, and that will depend. उसके बाद तो कहानी पे आएंगे. पहले तो आपका जो पूरा जो stance है, people will see that, and after that they will listen to your story. So telling is more important, delivery is more important in today's time than even the content. Many times you would have seen movies and you would say, कहानी अच्छी थी पर इनको बनाना नहीं आया, right? So that is the reason telling is very, very important. Delivery is very, very crucial, right? Now, this is a framework that we use for crafting a story. This is something that you can also use when you craft a story for your technical journey. That this is called the hero's journey. It's a very, very technical concept. I'll just simplify it for you. So supposing you have just joined the company and you have a certain role and you've just connected with your colleagues. So this is your ordinary world, point number one. Suddenly, your team has been given an opportunity to create a new product, which is not easy. Now, I'm talking about technical product, which is not easy. So this would be your call to adventure. So the first reaction we all as humans say, you know, we don't want to get into something which is very difficult, right? So this would be your refusal to call. Fourth point is you meet your mentor. So maybe your boss really calls you and he says, "Nahi, you can do it. I know you have it in you." Or maybe your inner voice tells you कि नहीं, अगर आज challenge नहीं किया, अगर आज comfort zone से बाहर नहीं गए, तो जिंदगी में कभी कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे. So you meet the mentor. The mentor can be a person. The mentor can be an incident. It can be something your inner voice tells you. And you start developing the product. So you cross the first threshold. As soon as you launch that technical product, you get a very bad feedback from the market. Very, very bad feedback. the test, the allies, the enemies. एक और टीम है आपके ऑफिस में, वही आपके प्रोडक्ट को रिजेक्ट कर देती है. मार्केट में आपका प्रोडक्ट जो लॉन्च है वो खराब हो जाता है. You get very bad feedback. Even your closest friends and your bosses also start telling you what have you done. This is a testing time. You go into the innermost cave. आप बिल्कुल demotivated हो जाओगे. You will say कि अरे this is not happening. I should not have picked up this project. That is your innermost cave. You go inside. You go back. You take a step back. I did the wrong thing. That's when your ordeal will start. Again, there is a clash in your mind. I should continue. I should leave it. I should continue. I should leave it. Ultimately, as a hero of your own story, you will pick it up again because maybe there's a pressure from your boss ki nahi, you have to complete no matter how bad or good it is. You will struggle with it and you will relaunch it probably with a better understanding or better strategy, and let's say you get the reward. You're appreciated. Now you start taking the road back. The road back means now you will sit down and see, okay, these were the problems I was facing. These were the things I was doing wrong. These were the things I did right. And that's why I got this reward. Resurrection. You start telling your mind that these are the things I'm not going to use. These are the challenges I may face again, but now I have to use the different strategy and return with the elixir. Now, when you come back, now the person you have become, you're a changed person because you've taken the knowledge, the experience, and now you are not the same person that was at point number one. This happens in our life a lot, many times. If you see any of your past experiences, whether you had joined for the first time or whether when you join a new company, many times these challenges, they happen, they follow this trajectory. And when you complete an assignment, which was very technical, which was very tough, you have a newfound learning, you return with the elixir, and we say you've completed the hero's journey. So next time, if you're struggling कि भाई मैं स्टोरी कौन सी सुनाऊं, मैं तो टेक्निकल हूं, मुझे कोई कहानी आती नहीं है, think of a last assignment where you faced a lot of challenges. How did you overcome that challenge? Who are the people who helped you? What are the things you kept in mind? How did you re-strategize? And what is the learning you had? That is your story, ready-made with you. So you don't have to struggle for finding stories. The stories are all within you. You just have to think and narrate it to your team. Does it make sense? Can you all recall any one incident where this thing happened with you? I would like to listen to you. I can't see the chat. I would like to listen to you. Anyone who would like to share their experience?
You can unmute yourself
Please
and share
unmute
the
and
stories,
share.
people.
One story, any one story, if you can share.
Yeah, one or two. We can listen to them.
Hello?
Yeah, I guess you are thinking.
You're thinking. So
Yeah.
anytime you face a challenge in your work profile, in your class 12th, in your college,
Yes, I have a story. I can share it.
please.
Well, when I was switching from India to UAE, it's very tough for me, and I
Yes.
faced so many challenges. It's not about the professional challenges.
Personal
Rather
also.
than that, the professional, some like climate, atmosphere, and midwhile the language. You know,
Mhm.
everyone know Hindi over here, but
Mhm.
it's very hard for me sometimes to communicate. Since, for example, I go the grocery stores and I want uh, something like you can say dal and rice. So it's very typical for me to explain this ki what type of dal I was like first I required and the rice. That's I
Mhm.
face too much. Now I get to know whenever I go to the normal grocery store, I just take out the pictures and then show I want this.
Okay. So it's. But are there places, are there points where you felt that you made the wrong decision of coming to Dubai? Does it happen?
No,
Because
actually, not really. Not really,
Mhm.
because you know, adventure is there because it's an
Mhm.
adventure. When you switch somewhere within a India
Mhm.
or out of the India, doesn't matter. But when you switch somewhere, either your company or your places, somehow you need to be, it's adventurous. But
Okay.
a point of time, it's up to you, your willpower. You want to give up or you want to move it with your decision.
Okay, that's great. Good to know. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else who'd like to share
Yeah,
something?
Vaishali has raised her hand. I could
Yeah,
see. You
please.
can unmute yourself and actually share your story.
Yes, yes, Vaishali.
Yeah, hi. So just want to highlight that when I saw this for the first time, the thing that I could recall or what I am going through right now is my PhD journey. So I am pursuing my PhD and I feel that there have been multiple times when I've gone through this whole cycle of questioning myself multiple times. Was it the right decision to step into PhD? Because research is like that. You need to deep dive into so many things, and there are places where some things are under your control, some things are not under your control. Like you did your best, submitted a paper, waited for 6 months, and then it gets rejected, and that is where you are at that place. Bounce back, you do rework on your paper, you again submit the paper. So I saw this, and Richa, I could actually just think about my PhD journey. So
Beautiful, beautiful. This is very beautifully. You've told the entire hero's journey that's happened. Precisely, that's what I was saying. You return to the cave, you come back, you face the ordeal, you get the reward, you take the road back, you resurrect, and now what you've become is different from what you were when you had started. Beautiful. Anyone else who'd like to take this chance of sharing the hero's journey? You must have encountered it. If you can see the steps, anyone in their organization, in their college, school, wherever things have happened, you've taken a subject, let's say science, and then you regret it, you want to change it after 6 months, you get the first marks, you feel, oh, terrible marks in physics, I should have taken commerce or humanities, but everybody was pressurizing me. Then you talk to your parents, they are your mentor or maybe your teacher, and they say, no, I feel you have it in you, so you can still think. Take more time, try and understand physics. I know it is in you, you can make a career out of it. So everywhere this hero's journey is happening. Anyone who'd like to share their experience? One more
I
person.
want to share. I want to share about my work journey.
Yes, please.
So I was working on one part of my professional means. Suddenly, my management came and hand over complete project to me. I was literally shivering, like, how will I do this?
Okay. True.
Gradually, a mentor came who gave me some suggestions related to my project. I
Okay.
started research on that, and then I realized, like, I need to take care because it was a highly focus by management as well. So that time, actually, I realized if I will do this, then I can get more project like this individually. Then I bounced back and completed it. When I completed it, then I build. I saw building means confidence in me as well. Like I can handle a complete project individually. So this was the journey. Actually,
So you
Yeah.
have a story. So next time, if you're mentoring a team, you can share your story. You already have us. We all have stories. We just don't know how to craft them and tell them. We all have stories of how we failed and bounced back, how we started, what are the hiccups we were having, whether as a student, whether as a young trainee, intern, young manager. We all have stories in our story bank. We just don't know how to craft it. So this is a great story, and you can share it with your teammates that, see, I followed this and this is what my learning was, and the same thing can happen with you. Brilliant. Thank you so much all for sharing your stories.
Yeah, we have
So this is
another
one of the
one.
frameworks. There are a lot many frameworks in storytelling. You don't need to remember the framework. All the thing that you need is when you see this framework, you're able to place your story. कि हाँ मेरे साथ भी ऐसे हुआ था. मुझे एक नया project मिला था, but initially I refused. Then my mentor told me. So when you read the framework, ना, it becomes easy to craft the story within your mind. So ऐसे बहुत सारे frameworks हैं. If I were to start telling you, I mean, it can take a whole day and the frameworks will not get over. This is another framework. Struggle Spark.
Yes,
Yes.
someone is also wants to share. I think
Sure, please unmute yourself and share your story. I'm all yours.
It's not about story, but it's like a little bit doubt. So on the hero story framework, so like how can we say it in the business, and like when we are pitching some product or something like that, that's our daily like a scrum meeting or something? Like how can we convey that regarding any
I'm
product or feature or something?
I'm sorry. What's your name? Sorry,
Pragati?
Pragati. So Pragati, just remember, there is no story without a twist. Okay. So if you are working normally, you have your office work which you are doing, and if you start talking about it, that's not a story. Every story needs to have a beginning, some conflict in the middle, and a resolution. This is a simple trifecta: beginning, conflict, resolution. Now, where do you work? Where do you work?
I'm a freelance.
You're a freelancer. Okay. I can understand. Now, as a freelancer, you get a client who's a tough client, right? And you start working with the person. And something happens, maybe your assignment, you create something he does not like, or he gives you some download and you take it in a different tangent. Something happens. How do you resolve that? Some twist happens, some problem situation arises. How do you resolve that? That is a story. You're a freelancer, you get a client, you work for the client. That is not a story. A story needs to have a beginning, conflict and resolution. Always remember. चाहे आप technical हो, non-technical हो, कोई भी हो. Every story has to follow a 3-act structure: beginning, conflict and resolution. How did you resolve? कुछ कहानी में ट्विस्ट होना बहुत जरूरी है. अगर आपकी जिंदगी ऐसे सीधी क्लाइंट आ रहा है, काम कर रहे हो, वो कहानी नहीं है. कहीं पे कोई प्रॉब्लम आए, कहीं पे कोई टिफ हुआ, कहीं पे कोई सिचुएशन ऐसी हुई जहां पे आपको मतलब लगा कि इसको मुझे रिजॉल्व करना पड़ेगा, एंड यू रिजॉल्व्ड इट. सो व्हेन यू रिजॉल्व, you come back with newfound learning, with experience, with knowledge which you did not have. Okay. So for example, when I gave my first presentation ever, I was very nervous. How will I speak? And how will the slides go? There are a lot of goof ups that happened. I had to resolve it then and there. There were questions asked for which probably I didn't have answers also. So, but when I kind of gave the presentation, when I stood in front of 200 people and I was able to satisfy, when I got down that stage, I was a new person because I realized that I have the confidence to face these people. Okay, this was asked, I was not prepared, but how I handled it, so I resolved that. So how you resolve a conflict, it becomes your story. So my first presentation is a story. My second and third presentation are not stories because उसमें कुछ twist हुआ ही नहीं. I went, I gave the presentation, I came back. So always remember, a story needs to have 3 acts: beginning, conflict, resolution. Now, as a freelancer, can you think of a challenging assignment you had and how you resolved it? Can you share that? Do you remember this? Is there anything that happened like that?
Yeah, like it happened very recently.
Okay, can you tell? I can tell you how you craft it. Yes, just a little bit.
I think like I can say it like from the proposal end, like until we get the proposal, like how the cycle will be, like we will be sending our interest like for the clients.
Mm-hmm.
So for their job proposal, like we'll be sharing our experiences and how we can help for their product to build. Then like once they got accepted, then like we need to have the interview. In the interview, like they will be like coming up with a lot of things. So some people will be saying to do some assignment or something like they want beforehand, like how we are going to work for them. So they will be giving something like from their own product, and we'll be testing like how we are going to do that. So for me, like recently one of the clients, it was like a very early stage product, and he wanted me to like come up with some roadmap for that one. So it is something like which I need to do like after I got the job proposal, but like he said me like to give me some basic on that roadmap. So there is like no chance, like I need to give it because like I need to get that contract, right? So like I provided that one.
Yes.
And then he was ghosting like my product, and he liked it. Then he was ghosting. He said like we can have it for the next phase. That is like for the first phase he want to launch the landing page. On the second one, like he want to have the actual product. But like sometimes like we will be following up with them, right? So then he is not responding to me. He was just like ghosting. I feel like he's ghosting. So just like I'm waiting, like what will be in the phase 2. So right, maybe like I was in the maybe 7th step here, 7th or 8th step, waiting for the reward.
Absolutely. So what you can do is, each one of you, every time you face a situation like that, just note it down. Because tomorrow, if you have a team, or if you have to stand on stage and talk about it, this is a story that you already have. And resolution may not happen in one go. You keep on getting twist. You keep on resolving. In the end, probably it may just completely resolve. So ये इतना simple भी नहीं है. But what you can do is, you can just write this down and you can create your own story bank. You know that this was a challenging time I had with my client or with my team. This is how the resolution happened. So this is how you can create story banks. That's idea number 1. Second is, supposing you don't have enough stories, there are a lot of business storytelling books available which you can read and use their stories to help connect with your team, to make your team understand कि ऐसे होता है. So I'll tell you a story इसके बाद about how organizations use business stories to bring about their point, right? So I'll move to another framework before I tell you that story. This is another one, struggle. What challenge did you face? What ignited your motivation? The actions did you take? And the shift. Very simple example I'll tell you. I had a client. She came to me and she says, Ki, I have a presentation, I have a TED talk coming up and I want to talk about my story of my weight loss. I said, okay, tell me. So she says, oh, I was very overweight. And then I started going to the gym and then I lost. I said, where is the story? ये तो बहुत simple है, इसमें तो कुछ है ही नहीं. क्यों आपने जिम क्यों ज्वाइन किया? नहीं, मेरा weight loss करना था, ये करना था. When we spoke to each other for a longer time of say 45 minutes, so the story, the spark was missing. भाई, why did you join the gym suddenly? आप तो 10 साल पहले भी कर सकते थे. अब आपने क्यों किया? अब आपको क्यों लगा कि weight loss करना है? What ignited that step? So then she told me that she went to a wedding where there was a photographer who was clicking everybody. And as luck would have it, when she was eating a full meal plate and she was eating, somebody clicked her and somebody put that picture on Instagram. Unfiltered, totally unfiltered, in which she's looking pretty overweight and that too she's eating with her mouth fully open. And it was a very bad picture for her. And a lot of people commented on her weight and a lot of people trolled her. Oh my God, you know, you're looking like this. Now that day, she realized that this is too much trolling that's happened. People have really gone out of the way. They were rude, this, that. Then 2 days after, she enrolled for a gym membership. This simple example I'm telling you is every story needs to have a trigger, a spark. Why you did what you did? What happened? What caused this ignition of motivation? Then comes the strategy. What actions did you take? And the shift that happens because of that strategy. But the second point, the spark, is very important. So next time, whenever you are crafting a story from within your organization or if something has happened, ask yourself, what is the spark? What caused the change that happened? What caused you to do this? What brought that motivation? What was the trigger moment? It can be an external trigger, like in this lady's case, somebody posted her unfiltered picture and she got so mad that this is how I look and people are laughing at me. Or it can be an inner trigger. Someday, you know, you sit with yourself, your inner voice tells you how long are you going to continue like this? And you take that step. So the spark, the trigger has to be there for people to understand that this is a story. Otherwise, the story will fall flat. You're overweight, you join the gym, you lose weight. ये तो सबको पता है. What caused you join the gym? That trigger moment you have to share with the audience before they understand, right? Now, these are certain stories that leaders generally tell. We'll just skip it and we'll come to a very interesting concept called brand storytelling, which will actually give you an idea of how to use stories. And after brand storytelling, we'll come to Steve Jobs of how he's using story. We'll take the example of Apple. And then I'll give you 3 live examples from the technical arena where you can use storytelling. So brands, you all know brands use storytelling to the maximum. You pick up any brand, chocolate, coffee, milk, Coke, Pepsi, shoes, apparel, they're always telling stories. Why do they tell stories? Because that makes the brand very, very distinct, very, very memorable. You build a certain trust with the brand. It feels less like advertisement, more like a kahani, or kahani sabko achhi lagti hai. And you become a very loyal community of that brand. So people are loyalists. So people are Starbucks loyalists, or people are, say, Nike loyalists. So you become a part of their community. So if you look around on Instagram, most of the brands now, they have their own communities where they share a lot of information. And let's say if there is a protein supplement, which is quite common nowadays, people are eating protein supplements like anything. So they share a lot of information about health foods, about how to use proteins, about what proteins do in your body. So because they want you to be a part of their community. So once you come to me, let's say I'm a brand of protein supplement. Once you come to me, you are not able to leave me. So they share a lot of customer stories, insider stories, how they started this brand. You all have seen Shark Tank, have you? Have you seen Shark Tank?
Yeah.
I want somebody else to answer. Can you unmute?
People would have.
Yes.
So Shark Tank, you've seen Shark Tank, all of you?
No,
Any
I
of this?
Yeah.
Okay. So Shark Tank is a great example. If you see their pitches, they always start with why they build this brand. क्यों बनाया भाई ये brand की जरूरत क्या थी? So there is a brand of ice creams called Go Zero. Okay, made by the very famous Kiran Shah. Now Kiran Shah is the same. It belongs to the family of Apsara ice creams. You've heard of Apsara ice creams? It's a very famous brand in Mumbai.
Yeah.
Now Kiran Shah had it very easy. He was born in a family which was selling ice creams for 3 generations. Why did he create a new ice cream brand called Go Zero? So he told his story on Shark Tank. You must listen to it. He said, हमारे घर में जब भी किसी का बर्थडे होता था, obviously आइसक्रीम आती थी. तो मैं देखता था कि जो बड़े बूढ़े लोग हैं जिनको डायबिटीज है, वो आइसक्रीम नहीं खा सकते थे. तो वो बेचारे हमारी शक्ल देखते थे और हम सब सेलिब्रेट करते थे. वो बैठे होते थे क्योंकि उनको डायबिटीज है, वो आइसक्रीम नहीं खा सकते. फिर उसकी फैमिली में ऐसे लोग भी थे जो थोड़े से वेट कॉन्शियस थे, वो भी आइसक्रीम नहीं खाते थे. So वहां से he got the idea, can I make an ice cream brand which everybody can eat? And that day Go Zero was born, an ice cream brand with zero sugar. So this is his why. Why did you start this brand? There is a story behind it. And if you're clear about your why, your story is very, very relatable and people will definitely understand. So if you follow Kiran Shah on LinkedIn, he shares a lot of stories about how he went on to build this brand and how he's doing certain things. So if you want to again learn storytelling, Shark Tank is a great example. You can watch these pitches, why people start, what they start, what is their why behind it, what are the challenges they face, and what is ultimately the resolution they do. So they follow a 3-act structure. Start beginning में शुरू क्यों किया, क्या reason था उन्होंने ये brand शुरू किया, क्या challenges आए और उसको resolve कैसे किया. Now, can you name these brands? One is Nike, one is Red Bull, one is Starbucks, one is Dove. These are some brands which use storytelling to the best possible way, and I'll show you how. Just have a look at this video very, very quietly, and then we'll talk about this. Oh, sorry. 1 second. All can see the video, hear the video. Please give a yes.
Yes. It's all
Yes, we can hear it.
Yes, ma'am.
مش عبيد يلا.
So which brand's advertisement is this? I'm sure you know it all.
Nike.
Nike.
Yes.
Now, did any time Nike pause and say, "Oh, we sell shoes and apparel"? Did they do that?
No.
Did they do that? Did they tell you,
No.
listen, we sell shoes, we sell the best quality shoes, we sell best quality apparel. And what different type of apparel? They have swimwear, they have gym t-shirts, they have football t-shirts, football shoes, footballs. So it's a brand which is selling everything related to sports, athletics. But what are they talking about? They're not talking about their product. They're talking about the spirit. What if we can? So they're talking about the fact that the biggest cage that we have is in our mind. कि हमसे ये नहीं होगा, we can't do this. So they're talking about the spirit of what if we can, the spirit of sportsmanship. And in between, they are putting their logo on different things just to tell you that we are capable of selling athleisure, apparel, footballs, shoes. They're not saying we sell best quality shoes. Can you tell me why this approach is taken? Why they are using this approach instead of straight away saying, hey, listen, we make the best quality shoes, please buy it. What is more effective, this way or that way? Which is more
So
effective?
basically, they are triggering the emotions of the people associating with the sports, passion, adventure, fun, like that, right?
Bingo. Absolutely right. Now, this ad was made for Middle East. Now, in Middle East, they see that there is a little gender disparity and a lot of young women, because of whatever reasons, they are not going into the sports and different things. So that's why this advertisement had all the young girls in the typical Middle Eastern attire. This just to create an emotion that what if you can. So they are selling the emotion. If your emotion sells, if your emotion is connecting with people, people will buy from you. Whether it's a product, whether it's a service, whether it's a solution. We buy from emotions and later rationalize it with logic. That is what this ad was all about. Have a look at another one.
Richa,
Yes.
just a second, wanted to mention that that it's already 12:30 now. So the time that we had given was around 1. So I guess we need to now get ahead with the next and remaining important slides that you mentioned. So just wanted to remind you about
I know. Let me just
yeah,
quickly
yeah.
play this, Palak. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
This is a great example of how during pandemic the usage of screens has actually led to a lot of social consciousness, especially among teenagers. Again, the brand is working on the emotion. A lot of parents of teenagers have faced this, that their children are feeling constantly compared because of the social media. So the brand is trying to attack that emotion so that next time when you go to the market, you feel Dove is a brand which is human, which understands you, and you buy from it. Very quickly, going to this last video, I just want to show you 3 nuances, especially for technical people. This is Steve Jobs when he introduced iPhone to the world in 2007. Just have a look at this. There are 3 things which I want you to see.
This is a day I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years.
He's introducing by creating a very powerful hook. This is a day I've been waiting for 2.5 years. People know something is going to be launched on this day because this is Steve Jobs. He creates a powerful hook. Whenever you're telling a story, create a suspense or create a powerful hook. So that people are like, even if they're watching the phone, like, oh, something's going to come. Let's very quickly see what next.
Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. And Apple has been, well, first of all, one's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. In 1984, we introduced the Macintosh. Today, we're introducing 3 revolutionary products of this class.
Can you see his body language? Very, very relaxed. His hands are not going here and there. Slowly and gradually, he's building up the suspense about how Apple has actually combined 2 to 3 features of products into one, Just one more bit and then we wrap this up.
The first one is a widescreen iPod with touch controls. The second is a revolutionary mobile phone. And the third is a breakthrough internet communications device. So, 3 things. A widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. An iPod, a phone, and 3 separate devices. This is one device.
So there are 3 things you can see. Number 1, have a powerful hook. Number 2, very relaxed body language. And slowly and gradually, he showcases to the world that they've created a powerful product, combining the 3 things together. Of course, it's a very long video. There are a lot of storytelling nuggets you can take from this. But what I can tell you is the next time you're on stage or in front of your team, always create the suspense, which will be divulged in the end. Keep your body language very, very relaxed and stand with the same posture, stance, and confidence. There are lots that I can go on with this, but I think we'll have to wrap it here. There are 2 examples which I want to give you, all the technical people. If you want to use storytelling, there are 2 live examples which I want to give you before we open for question and answers. So supposing you're a technical manager at a SaaS company and you need to convince your leadership why refactoring the legacy code was necessary. Now, I'm not a technical person, but this is a real life example. This is a real life business story which I've picked up. So the situation is you're a technical manager at a SaaS company. You need to convince your leadership why refactoring legacy code was necessary. Instead of using the technical jargon, how can you reframe it as into storytelling? I'll tell you why. Imagine our system is like a growing city. Right now, we have old roads that weren't built for the traffic that we are seeing today. If we keep patching the potholes, instead of building better roads, we'll face constant slowdowns. So refactoring is like redesigning the streets for long-term efficiency. Does that make sense? Because I'm not a technical person. This is a real technical business story I've picked up. Does this make sense? Anyone? Very quickly, does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
It does? Okay. One more technical business story which I've picked up. A manager wanted their engineering team to adopt DevOps practices, development operations practices. instead of just listing the benefits, they added a story. What did they add? Remember when we had the production outage last quarter? It took us 6 hours to deploy a fix because of the manual processes. Now imagine if we have the automation in place, we could have resolved it in minutes. That's what DevOps gives us: speed, reliability, and peace of mind. This is also a real life technical story. The third and the last one, a product manager is working on an AI-driven recommendation system needed to show customers why it mattered. So instead of talking in the technical jargon, again, he uses a real life business example. Think about how Netflix knows exactly what show you love next. We are bringing the same intelligence to our e-commerce platform so that the customers always see products they actually want, boosting sales without extra effort. Does this make sense? That you've picked up a real life example of Netflix. If you watch a show, Netflix starts giving you recommendations based on your taste last time. Similarly, e-commerce people also, they scan your buying behavior and they suggest you products. So these are examples of how you can omit the technical jargon and use metaphors, use analogies, and use real life examples to bring home the point. Does that make sense? I'll have to wrap it at this. There's lots that I can go on, but
Yeah.
and if you want to have more technical stories, I can tell you certain business books which have these ready-made technical stories, which you can use next time in your presentations to mitigate the data and to storify your presentation. This will be all from my end. I'm open to question and answers. Please, if you have any.
Yeah, actually, whoever has questions, you can actually use the chat section and put in the questions. Then I guess we can take 1 or 2 questions. At the same time, I would want, Richa, you can share the feedback forms slide so that until then, yeah.
I'll do that.
Until we take the Q&A question round, all of you, we would request you all that please, it will hardly take 1 or 2 minutes of yours, but it will help us a lot in bringing better sessions like this to you in the upcoming weeks. Also, let us know in the chat section that which new topics you want to explore or which new sessions you would like to have. So just let us know in the chat section. Meanwhile, I guess someone has raised their hand. So you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yeah, please ask the question.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, we discussed about creating stories based on our own experience, and also you mentioned about the business story books, right? Could you please suggest any books here?
There are lots actually, Anshul. One is How Business Storytelling Works by Sandeep Das. Then How to Tell a Story by Paul Smith. And in fact, if you're on LinkedIn, you can connect with me and I can send you a list of 10 top people on LinkedIn to follow for stories.
Yeah,
There
sure.
are storytellers on LinkedIn along with me, of course, but there are people who work specifically in the technical space. So I can share the link. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and I'll send you a list of people to follow because it's easy to follow on LinkedIn. You know, they share storytelling nuggets every day. One is Indraneel and one is Sean McHallen. So there are a lot of global and Indian people. I also follow them. So you can do that. I'll share it with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Also remember everybody, storytelling is like exercise. अगर बॉडी बनानी है तो रोज एक्सरसाइज करनी पड़ेगी. अगर स्टोरी टेलिंग मसल बनाना है तो रोज पढ़ना पड़ेगा, रोज काम करना पड़ेगा, and only then stories will start coming out of your mouth. It's not a one-day job. So you have to regularly exercise your storytelling muscle so that tomorrow when you have something to say in a meeting or a presentation, you already have the story in your mind and it will come naturally to you. But start practicing, and unlike public speaking, storytelling practice can happen with an audience. So start with your low risk audience like your friends, your peers. Start using stories there so that tomorrow when you are on the TED stage now, you've practiced enough. So you can do that. Yeah. Any more questions, please? More questions?
This Rajkumar has raised his hand.
Please.
Yeah. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, please, you'll have to.
And Pragati, can you please mute yourself?
I just asked my question. It's done.
Okay. There is a
Yeah,
voice.
so like my end.
Okay.
Is there any audio issue from my end?
Sorry?
Okay, is there an audio issue from my end? Like somebody said audio.
No, Pragati, you can go ahead if you need to ask questions.
Okay, yeah. Any questions, please, Pragati?
Yes. So like my question was like, how can we communicate these stories like now through online meetings? Like most of the meetings are happening through online, right? Like we don't showcase our behavior much.
You don't showcase your behavior in online meeting? I didn't get that. Sorry.
We don't showcase our like their hand movements much, right? Like and most of the time the other people are like we will be.
Okay, so in a virtual setting, I'll tell you very quickly. In a virtual setting, what you can do is work on your eye contact. That is very important because people are just seeing your face, right? So your eye contact, the clarity of your voice has to be absolutely clear. The words should be very, very audible. You have to speak in a proper controlled manner, neither too fast nor too slow. Your facial expressions or your eye contact are very important. And this is about the delivery and the content. So if you have some meeting coming up, what is the topic? Think about that and look for some stories online if you don't have any of yours and craft that story, practice it so that when the time comes, you're able to clearly say it in the meeting. But for virtual settings, you are right. The hands and all people are not able to see, but what they can see is your face, your eye contact, your facial expressions, and a little bit of your hand movement also. Your speech has to be very, very clear. People should be able to listen to what you're saying. Your pauses have to be very, very perfect. Don't go very fast. Don't go very slow. Just keep the proper proper speed. And after telling your story, just pause. Let others imbibe it, listen it, and then continue. So this is very, very important. If you just go on telling your stories with nobody listening, that is also a problem. So tell a certain point, tell a certain part, and then pause. Take a pause. Let people imbibe. उनको थोड़ा सा time दो, and then start again. So storytellers के लिए story listener होना भी बहुत जरूरी है. So you have to listen. You have to practice on your listening as much as you practice your storytelling. And again, I say, if you want to be using stories in your meetings, you have to start reading a lot of stories. You have to start noting stories which you have, so that tomorrow when the time comes, you already have a story bank ready with you. It'll not come in one day. It is a muscle you need to practice every day. Yep. Any more questions, please? Can I stop sharing my this slide? Have people scanned this?
Is it a LinkedIn one?
Sorry?
Can you share me your LinkedIn?
So my LinkedIn is by my name, Richa Wahi. If you want, I'll put it in the chat and then you can connect with me, right?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, Richard, do you have any slide with respect to your details?
I don't have any. I can just share my LinkedIn. My LinkedIn has all my details. I'm Richa Wahi, a business storyteller, leadership communication coach, founder of Tales That Spin. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. It's my universe. That's where I stay most of the time. And I'll be happy to give you more details, right?